European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen is in the Philippines in a bid to relaunch free trade negotiations with the nation. Much is at stake as the EU and Manila are set to mark 60 years of diplomatic relations next year. CNA's Bernard Bernal has more.
Revitalizing the economic partnership between the Philippines and the European Union was the primary focus of the bilateral meeting between Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen at the Presidential Palace, Malacanang on Monday. Mr. Marcos Jr. said Philippine government experts will work towards negotiating a bilateral free trade agreement with the EU, which Mrs. von der Leyen said can be the springboard for new technology cooperation between the two parties as part of modernizing the economy. Ms. von der Leyen said that the costs of economic dependency is too high. EU is the Philippines' fourth largest trading partner. In reaction, however, Mr. Philippe Dam of the Human Rights Watch said that the EU should not look away in terms of the Philippines' human rights situation, which he called dire. He said that the EU should tie up any free trade deal to improvements in labor and human rights conditions in the Philippines. On the development front, the EU extended a $66 million grant to the Philippines to support its circular economy, renewable energy, and climate change mitigation. Now, to support the Philippines' fight against climate change, the EU also will set up data mirror sites within the Philippine Space Agency for satellites or eyes in the sky. An agreement was signed between the EU and the Philippines to boost the flow of Earth observation data meant for early warning systems of the Philippines for extreme weather events. The EU said this is the first such space cooperation in Asia. Finally, the EU also affirmed the arbitral award in 2016 that largely favored the Philippines' claim in the South China Sea, which it calls the West Philippine Sea, and invalidated China's 9-line claim as legally binding.
We are ready to strengthen the cooperation with the Philippines on maritime security in the region by sharing information, conducting threat assessment, and building the capacity of your National Coast Watch Center and your Coast Guard.
Mrs. von der Leyen is on an official visit to the Philippines, and the two leaders previously met in Brussels late last year for the ASEAN-EU Leaders Summit. Bernal, CNA, Makati, and Metro Manila.